Okay, we're going to start out this slideshow. I wanted to do things through Blackboard Collaborate, but it's so difficult and so many people were not able to see the video that I decided to redo it through PowerPoint. This is much simpler, and even though it's a little bit less entertaining because I can't switch from YouTube back to the slideshows, so what I've done is I've decided to include a list of YouTube videos, and as I reference them, I'd like for you to pause the slideshow and go and watch these videos, because they really help drive the content home. And if you notice, there's this little button down here that helps you that helps you hear the dialogue. You click on that, and it'll play my discussion of each slide. Okay, let's get started. This is a map of the Old World. By the Old World, we mean Europe, Africa, Asia. We're excluding North America, South America, and Australia. Those continents are not visible on this map because they were unknown to people in the Old World prior to this period we're going to talk about tonight, which is the age of transoceanic travel. Okay, so we look and we see that this map is very inaccurate. It was produced by a Barcelonese cartographer. That's a map maker from the city of Barcelona in northeastern Spain, in a region called Catalonia. And when we look at Europe, we look at North Africa, we look at southwestern Asia, also known as the Middle East, we see a much more accurate picture than when we move further out. Of course, Africa, about 3/4 of Africa is cut off from the map. Africa approaches the Antarctic Circle. It extends so far south. There are actually populations of penguins in southern Africa. South Africa having a climate more similar to that of parts of Europe than equatorial Africa. Africa is a huge continent, and of course no one had sailed down the coast of it, so no one knew how vast it was. And when we look at India, the cartographer has confused the island of Sri Lanka with the southern half of India. Sri Lanka much smaller, the southern half of India extending much further south. What we call Southeast Asia, or what we might call Indochina, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Burma, as kind of this warped shape. And of course, the far eastern edge of China, Korea, and Japan are not present in the map. Okay, one of the major points that you need to remember from this lecture is that China is the dominant society in this Old World network. Okay, it's the most populous, wealthiest, most technologically advanced society in this whole context. And Chinese medicine was valued throughout this Old World system. We have a Chinese apothecary here, basically a pharmacist, drug dealer. He is grinding up fossilized remains of prehistoric animals. The Chinese called them dragon bones, dinosaur bones, and prehistoric mammals, other creatures. And you see that these men here don't have beards. The standard way to wear your facial hair in this period in China was to have a kind of goatee with a long mustache. This symbolized wisdom, morality, and virility. And so these men not having these beards is a sign of there being something wrong with them internally. So they're here to purchase these medicines, and of course this gives us a clue as to what they're there for. These are this is about virility. You ingest this creature's bones, you get this creature's power, you get that virility, and of course this is like 15th century Chinese Viagra, right? And that's what these men are after. So we look at this map here of what we call the Silk Road. This is the dominant trade route when it comes to economic links in the Old World. It starts in China, central China, in the city of Luoyang, and it extends through these deserts, the Gobi Desert, Lop-Nur Desert, Taklamakan Desert, all the way through Afghanistan, Pakistan, linking China with India, through Central Asia, through what's now Iran or Persia at the time, through Iraq, or Mesopotamia, all the way to what we call the Levant, Syria, Jordan, etc. And that, of course, links the trade route with the Mediterranean Sea, and then the North Sea if the map were to continue over in this direction. So Europe, Africa, Asia are linked through the Silk Road. This is the dominant mode of how more goods moved through